Hey there friends, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today, and this is going to be my November thank you kit for anyone who places an order or who participates in one of my classes. So you can sign up for one of my classes and receive this kit. So I'm going to take you through how I made this card today, and you'll see all the fun materials that I'm using. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm using Pretty Peacock as my base color, and I'm using the All About Autumn DSP. I'm also using this Patchwork die, which was new in the annual catalog. And what I've done is I cut my piece of DSP with my die, and then these 4 corner pieces I'm actually using the reverse pattern. Okay, so I'm going to take you through how I do the card. So the first thing we have is our base cardstock, which is a standard 8.5 by 5.5, and you're just going to fold and crease that at 4 1/4. Then I'm going to take my base card and use the distressed tiled 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting and embossing machine and come out with this dry embossed textured front. Okay, I just liked this extra pattern behind our DSP. So that's just a nice simple embossed base. Then we have all the pieces from our patchwork die. So I have a base piece here, which will be the same color as our card, and it's going to be the size of our cut pieces. So if I move all these onto my grid paper here, try to keep them in the same layout as they're going to go on. Now I'm just going to use liquid adhesive to adhere these down. And so I'm going to spread this around enough that they're all stick, but not so much that it's going to squish out between the parts. But you do want to get some right along your edges. Okay, so I'm going to start with my corner pieces. Now these pieces are the ones that I flipped over. So it's symmetrical. Those of you who know me know I'm a math person, so they're symmetrical. So those pieces can be flipped over and trade places. So I'm just doing that. Then I'm going to start with these corner pieces because it's got a square edge. So I'm just going to square this onto that base cardstock as a guide. Okay, and then I'm just going to build across. So you just want to make sure that your pieces are going together and that you're squaring it to the edge of that base cardstock. Now, the first time I did this, I was a little bit long on my base card, but after you get them all adhered down, you can just trim it on your paper trimmer. So just do your best to line them up with your edges and you'll be okay. Alright, so let's put this one down over here. Now if you're somebody like me, sometimes I get my fingers into exposed adhesive. You could just start with putting some along part of your base there and then add more as you're working along. So you do what you need to do your best work. Okay. Now I'm adding these to these side pieces. I love the symmetrical piece of this die, and I'm going to work with this more in some future projects. I have some really cool ideas to work with. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces to go. So I'm just putting them down here and 1 more. Okay, and this time it looks like I'm pretty good on my width, so I'm not going to worry about trimming my edges, but I am going to flip it over and give it a good rub down to make sure all those pieces are adhering firmly. Okay, so there's my focal point of my card. Now that's just going to get popped up onto dimensionals just to give it a little bit of pop to that element. So I'm just going to put 4 in the corner and 2 in the middle just to give it some support. Nice and simple there. Okay, so this is just going to get put right in the middle. Okay, so now we're going to add some embellishments. So I'm going to use on my stylish shape die and with my Very Vanilla. I've already die cut a panel for my sentiment, and I am using my Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm using a sentiment from the Something Fancy stamp set. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to do it along the inner edge there because I'm going to trim off the right hand side to be flush with my card. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm just going to trim off this end. So these have these little perforated dots, so I just kind of go from the bottom to the top so I get a nice straight cut. Okay, so here I was, I'm going to put this on like this. And then I decided, you know what, I've got this metallic ribbon sitting in my stamp room, right? Now the ribbon is Sweet Sorbet, and the color in our cardstock is Moody Mauve, but they're really close, and I'm going to go ahead and use it because this has got that metallic embossing in the paper, so I'm just going to add a little more metallic. So this is a really simple little trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 mini glue dots and just kind of create a sticky point on my card. I'm going to put 2 side by side just so it's a little bit wider than 1. Then I'm going to take my ribbon, and if you're bow challenged, this is a way to kind of do a cheater bow. Alright, so I've got one end here, and then I'm just going to kind of loop it around my 4 fingers a few times, and what I want is the 2 ends to be opposite each other. Then I just kind of pull it off my fingers and pinch it in the middle. Some people give it a little twist, some people just pinch it, however you want to do it. And then I just put that down on those glue dots. Okay, so that's going to be a little above and a little below that center line. Then I've got my greeting, and that's going to go right there. Now this one I put down with liquid adhesive. This one I'm going to put on with dimensionals. When it's your card, if you get a kit in the mail as a thank you, you can put it down however you prefer. Some people like a lot of pop, some people like it flatter for mailing, so whichever is your preference, but it's just going to hold that metallic ribbon in place. So just like that. So what do you guys think? Right? Kind of a simple card, nice new die with that patchwork die. I like these fall colors and the bright metallic embellishments in the paper and in the ribbon. So if you shop online with me starting today through the end of next month, this is the thank you kit you'll get in the mail. You'll get embossed base, you'll get the dies all cut out of the paper, the mount pre-cut embellishment, some ribbon, and then you just have to add your own ink and your own sentiments to make it your own. So leave me a comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed this project, if you want to see more with this patchwork die in my future projects. And if you need help placing an order, please reach out. I'm happy to help you. And my link below to the online store, and just select me as your demonstrator, please. And if you want to sign up for some of my classes, whether it's the tutorials for my mini DSP projects that I share on Wednesdays and Fridays, or if you want to sign up for my Fun Fold class, which I do each month, all the links can be found below, or you can just use the contact me link and ask me a question. Alright everybody, I really enjoy sharing with you, and I hope you enjoyed today's project. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll stamp with you again real soon. Have a great day.